Guys, it's happening again.
It happened.
What happened at Hoonigan is happening at Donut Media. This morning, they just posted a video. Jeremiah and Jobe, like Donut Media is like stars. I would say like two of the most popular ones on their channel.
That's their main guys. Yeah.
Their main guys are gone. They're leaving.
Another one bites the dust, dude. This is the corporatization of YouTube.
Yes.
People are getting sick of it.
Yeah, it's weird. YouTube started as like this beautiful little thing for the people. They're like community, and then all these big companies are like, hey, that's kind of dope.
Come in, make money, and figure out how to minimize the fun part of it, but maximize the money of it.
100%.
It's got to be getting old.
What's
going on?
Okay, so what I thought was super interesting is Jobe and Jeremiah just started a channel. It's called Big Time. And what I thought was impressive, they made a video talking about kind of why they left, and I felt like they were pretty open about it. I thought like maybe they'd be a little bit more like, oh, it's fine, everything's good, which it was, but they were pretty open about saying, you know what, things changed. It's not what we thought it was going to be. You know, Jeremiah talked about how much money he made in the beginning and how it took him 2 years to get even more money. So I think it was refreshing to hear them talk about how it definitely came in as a you know, like you're saying, corporatization.
I don't even know if that's a word.
I don't know if that's a word either, but it makes sense.
Sounds right.
We're too dumb. That's why we have a podcast. No, but long story short, it just seems like these guys are just being honest about, look, we're doing our own thing. We don't want to have the leash on us. We don't want the corporate ladder's not for us. And with YouTube, like, we're going to go do our own thing.
Yeah, well, it's like it's crazy because it really is like the same story as Hoonigan. Like Hoonigan started as like, you know, Ken Block and what's his face? Ken Block. Huh? Scotto? Oh yeah. So Ken Block and Scotto started Hoonigan like thinking, let's run a car company as like a skate brand, right? And it was just like reckless, and they were doing burnouts in the like literally just where everybody's working. Yeah. It was the same thing, like, and that's how you know, Jobe and Jeremiah described coming into Donut. They're like, it was really cool. Everybody was just like this big community, and it was small, and then like it just changed. You know, when you find success, like they had crazy growth, and then Yeah, they said that towards the end, they feel like they had to pitch their ideas, and it kind of gets to the point where new people are coming in, they're kind of making decisions, and they're trying to pitch these ideas to really non-car people. And they're trying to sit, you know, I want to work on the 240. And they're like, well, probably not. And so it's like, how do we go make the content that we want to make, that we're excited about? What was also interesting is that it was obviously a big operation. And hearing Jeremiah talk about what he was doing before, writing, you know, making a video once a week for the whatever series he was on. And it just seemed like these guys found their niche that they enjoyed, and then that's all Donut, you know, kind of focused on, where it's like, okay, we still want to do other stuff. We like making these videos, but we also want to throw stuff at the wall and keep trying. And so I think it was kind of interesting just watching them actually say it on the internet that we're good, we're going to do our own thing, and we don't need this corporate ladder to climb anymore. Yeah, there are two really interesting things that I thought that Jeremiah said. One, that he was writing all the episodes for like James. And like James obviously is amazing, super funny guy, very talented writer. I know he writes a lot of other stuff on Donut. But it was really interesting to hear that like he was writing the scripts like for James, and James was kind of like, you know, taking it and making it fun, and he was kind of the star of it. And then Jeremiah came on and was doing the same show. They just kind of moved James out and Jeremiah in, and everybody was just like, oh, like you're just trying to be like James.
You're trying to copy
I was
him.
literally writing like all that. That was really interesting. And also that Jeremiah, they've kind of hinted this like in like previous episodes, but he was a biomedical engineer. He had like a big career in biomedical engineering, left it to go do car stuff.
How long do you think it's going to take until Donut is where Hoonigan is right now? Like, it's going to be on the downfall for sure. There's no way it's going to sustain.
Well, it's hard, right? Because I think that, you know, I look at the views on the Hoonigan videos like this versus that. I feel like the views aren't that much lower. I think people just, you know, they're maybe not as interested in those people making the videos. I feel like you get attached to these characters, just like a movie, you get attached to the people. So when the people move on, you kind of like lose interest in that segment. Or I just feel like Hoonigan's fine. I mean, they're massive. I mean, Hoonigan now, the way it's restructured, I mean, Hoonigan's own everything. They are massive. They're chilling.
Giant.
But it really just comes down to like, it's a marketing ploy, right? You've got all these videos promoting products, promoting your own products. And so it makes sense that you know, have people come in that invest and that they kind of start pushing their own stuff, and it becomes its own conglomerate. But like we've talked about, you lose that sense of kind of people, like that relatability. And that was the one thing that Jobe was talking about. He's like, I want to make car content that's relatable to more people. It doesn't have to be these very specific, putting $50,000 motors into $8,000 cars or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Well, that's what was like really cool about Donut in the beginning is like, I remember like all the series that Jobe did in his garage, like with the Miata and stuff. Like I didn't even have a Miata, but it was like so relatable, and I thought it was so good. Just in a garage, and like I love that like that's what they're going back to, and they're just taking that like to a new channel.
Yeah, that's really cool. I can't wait to see what they do with it.
I think they're gonna kill it. Just their first video in, just sitting in front of a camera for 25 minutes or whatever it was. It's like that was interesting enough, and you can tell like they've got skill, like they know what they're doing. They've already got hats with their logos on it, so like they're going to brand it out really well.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of like who's next.
Yeah.
Right. Who's leaving
yeah,
Hoonigan,
that's
or I
true.
guess pretty much everyone's left Hoonigan, but who's going to leave Donut next, where it makes sense that, and that's another thing. At the end of the Donut video, they gave them a shout out. Basically said, "Hey,
thought that
come
was
check
cool.
out our new channel." I was surprised because that was probably either super hard for them to get to try to negotiate, find a way to, hey, let us talk it, or they saw the big picture and realized, look, let's just let them say goodbye so there's no weird drama, and maybe that'll prevent anything. But with how open and honest they were about this is their own new channel, their own money, their own builds, their own risk. I thought it was impressive that Donut actually let them. The comments say that too. It's pretty
Yeah,
impressive
that's cool.
Donut let
Yeah.
them do that.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that they let them do that, and I think it could be even more of like a nod to not everybody in the corporate world is greedy and bad. Maybe it was just kind of like, hey, like you guys really helped us like blow this thing up.
Yeah.
Go kill it. Well, we'll give you a plug at the end of the video.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's a 10-second thing. Yeah. It was really interesting too to see like even outside of the car world, there's lots of this happening over and over and over again with, have you guys seen Cleo Abrams? She was a writer and presenter for Vox, right? Giant channel, giant media outlet, even before the days of YouTube. And she went out on her own and she is just absolutely killing it. So it's just cool to see like all these creators, like the people that are really like the key parts, like the keystone of these channels moving out, and like they have all the tools, all the resources, everything that they need, and they just go kill it.
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool to see for sure.